Welcome to Wednesday, the 22nd day of December, 2022. Welcome to the Day Weather Podcast. Well, folks, I know everyone's tired of the wind. Boy, the wind yesterday was awful again in many areas, and we still have high wind watches and warnings for some areas of the Intermountain West again today and into Thursday, but change is coming. But for another 48 hours, maybe a little less than 48 hours, windy and mild weather will continue for the Front Range and many areas of the western high plains. But changes are afoot. We'll talk about that. First of all, today and tomorrow, windy. Again, temperatures are going to be above average. Snow chances, though, really start to increase in the mountains and west of the Divide Thursday. And overnight Thursday into Friday morning, we're going to have travel problems. Interstate 80 by late tomorrow into Christmas Eve Friday and Christmas Day Saturday is going to be some problems, especially along the higher elevations of I-80 from west of Cheyenne to Evanston to Salt Lake, and then across the northern Great Basin and into California. Now, east of the Divide, not many problems. Interstate 70 in the mountains of Colorado, that's going to be a problem. I-15 in parts of Utah will be impacted as well. The mountain snows, folks, are going to be really, really impressive over the next 2 weeks. Very impressive snow is coming to the mountains. Christmas present for you skiers and you snowmobilers. What you've been waiting for is finally going to be developing. So in about a week to 10 days, the skiing and the snowmobiling will be great. Very cold air is likely to pour into the high plains and Rockies by the middle to the end of next week and into New Year's weekend. We'll show you that. What I'm going to do is step through the process of how the weather pattern is going to change over the next week. We mentioned yesterday that it's going to be like molasses, really slow to evolve. But the slower it takes for this pattern to evolve, once it does move in, means it's going to hang around for a little bit. It's not going to be transient. We're going to go out of phase 1 of La Nina like we're in now with this west to east, very mild Pacific flow across the country and go into that phase 2 colder, more amplified flow. But it's going to be a slow process. What I'm going to do is I am going to step you through the next several days. And remember, these colors represent temperature at 18,000 feet. And where the bright colors meet the cooler temperatures, that's where you're going to see the jet stream. So that black line sort of basically shows you where the jet stream is now. So this is for today. This is for tomorrow. Very subtle change, but you can see out of British Columbia, the Pacific Northwest, that system begins to move in. This is for Friday morning. Again, a slower push of that colder air south into the area. By Saturday morning, again, it's slow. So here we are today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, the colder air, that blue color up here in British Columbia and the Pacific Northwest, starts to get more of a push this way. And notice the jet stream now is getting pushed further south. We have a big high here coming in from the Gulf of Alaska. So as we get into Monday, that trough gets more established. It's a slow process. This is by Tuesday, and this is by Wednesday, and this is by Thursday. So it slowly comes in. So I'm going to back it up. Today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then into Thursday. This area of blue right here is some really, really cold air underneath of that right here. Really cold air, sub-zero temperatures, lots of negative numbers are going to be noticed up into Montana and North Dakota by then in southern Canada. So it's going to be a slow process with a reinforcement of cold air and moisture coming on in. So it'll be a slow process, but as it does, it is going to spread cold, moist air into the Rockies. This is the precipitation forecast through noon on Christmas Day. And as we've been showing you all week, the mountains and areas along and west of the Divide are going to be the wettest and the whitest. There's really good rain in California right now. California going to get some big, big rains. That really should be making headlines. You're going to get some just fabulous moisture along the west coast in the coming weeks. This pattern, though, spreads moisture. Then notice the I-80 corridor here into Utah, that I-15 corridor into Utah as well, I-70 through Colorado's mountains, and I-80 all the way into here, then roads and highways up through Idaho. You're going to be getting into some winter driving as we get into late tomorrow night, and Friday. Notice this little swath of moisture coming out into the Front Range of northern Colorado and southern Wyoming and western Nebraska. This happens on Christmas Eve and into Christmas Day Saturday. That actually, we might get a little punch of wet snow shower activity come into parts of the Colorado Front Range and southeastern Wyoming, as well as some snow shower activity as well in this area here on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. West of the Divide, it's going to be a white Christmas. And in the mountains, it's going to be a white Christmas without a problem. But this is something interesting to watch. It may be a wet snow, maybe a rain-snow mix before it turns to snow. But those areas right there may have a little bit of a Festivus miracle with maybe some snow showers on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day in this area right here, as well as up here along Interstate 90 and across portions of Montana. Now, as we go forward all the way through the next 10 days, this is what the snowfall looks like honing in on Utah, Wyoming, and Colorado. Look at those impressive snow totals in the mountains. Very, very impressive. There's a lot of mountain snow that'll be 1 to 3 to 4 feet over the next 10 days in the mountains of north central Colorado. You know, this area right here in particular is going to focus in and hit the ski areas really well. Jackson Hole going to get really hit hard. The Yellowstone Plateau, the Wind River Mountains. Now, the Bighorn Mountains are in a little bit of a shadow here. So the Bighorn Mountains are going to get snow, but snow amounts are going to be lighter than areas further to the west. Look at the Wasatch Front and the Uintas of Utah. So big snow's coming for you skiers and snowmobilers. A broader picture of the snow further west shows the Sierra Nevada all the way down into the mountains of Arizona and New Mexico. And then notice the snow here out in the northern plains, Montana and the Dakotas. You know, you're going to get into that deeper air earlier, and you're going to get into that snow earlier as well. Now, we've been talking about the snow hole. It's still showing up. So it's the northern and western areas, at least through the next 7 to 10 days, that have the best chances of snow. So here's the snowpack number as of this morning in Wyoming. See the upper North Platte at 83, 68 in the upper Green, only 73% there in the Snake River. Notice this map, and we'll save this map, but in about a week to 10 days, this map and the Colorado map are going to look a lot different after the next 10 to 14 days. I wanted to show you the cold air. These are temperatures relative to average by next Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday. Look at all the purple in Canada, the Pacific Northwest, leaking into the northern plains and Rockies, and that cold air finally gets to I-70 there into Colorado. The purple areas here, you're going to have sub-zero temperatures. Those are going to be below zero temperatures by early next week. Look at the expansion of the cold by Thursday of next week. You're starting to get single digits to sub-zero temperatures all the way down to I-70 and across the interior west, pushing out further into the plains. Very warm temperatures here for this part of the U.S., but over the time frame of New Year's weekend into the first week of New Year's, we probably will see this Arctic air get all the way to the Gulf Coast. So it's finally happening. It's just a really slow process as we head into this weekend and next week. Have yourself a great